The Grand Tourer motorcycle segment heading into 2026 represents one of the most hotly contested battlegrounds in the industry, where manufacturers are no longer simply chasing outright power or long-distance comfort, but attempting to blend performance, electronic sophistication, refinement, and real-world usability into a single, convincing package. For this analysis, the evaluation focuses on 6 nominated models for 2026. Honda CB1000 GT, Yamaha Tracer 9 GT Plus, Suzuki S1000GX, Kawasaki Versys 1100, BMW S1000XR, and Ducati Multistrada V4. Each motorcycle is assessed on engine performance, chassis balance, comfort, electronics, touring capability, and value, with a final score on a 1 to 10 scale. Honda's CB1000 GT enters the field as a long-awaited attempt to restore the brand's dominance in the large-capacity Grand Touring segment. Built around a reworked inline-4 platform, the CB1000 GT prioritizes smoothness, reliability, and understated sophistication rather than chasing class-leading peak numbers. On the road, the CB1000 GT's engine delivery is linear and exceptionally refined, making it ideal for sustained high-speed touring. While it lacks the visceral punch of some European rivals, it compensates with predictable throttle response and excellent fuel efficiency for its displacement. Chassis behavior is neutral and confidence-inspiring, reflecting Honda's conservative but effective approach to geometry and suspension tuning. The bike favors stability over aggression, which will appeal to riders who value calm composure on long motorway stretches and fast sweepers. Electronics are comprehensive but not groundbreaking. Rider modes, traction control, cruise control, and semi-active suspension are well integrated, though Honda stops short of the more experimental features seen on some competitors. The system works flawlessly, but without drama. As a complete package, the Honda CB1000 GT feels like the most traditional Grand Tourer in this comparison. It may not excite headline hunters, but its balance, comfort, and long-term ownership appeal earn it a solid score of 8.2 out of 10. Yamaha's Tracer 9 GT Plus continues to refine the brand's highly successful sport touring formula, built around the charismatic CP3 triple engine. For 2026, the focus is clearly on technology integration and rider assistance rather than raw mechanical changes. The 3-cylinder engine remains one of the most engaging power plants in the segment, offering strong mid-range torque and a playful character that keeps the Tracer feeling light and responsive, even when fully loaded with luggage. Where the Tracer 9 GT Plus truly stands out is its electronic suite. Adaptive cruise control, radar-assisted safety systems, advanced semi-active suspension, and Yamaha Ride Control elevate the riding experience, particularly for long-distance touring and daily commuting. However, the chassis still feels more compact and less planted at very high speeds compared to larger displacement rivals. While this enhances agility, it slightly limits long-haul comfort for taller or heavier riders. Overall, the Yamaha Tracer 9 GT Plus is one of the most technologically advanced motorcycles in this group, delivering excellent value and everyday usability. Its final score stands at 8.5 out of 10. Suzuki's S1000GX represents a bold reinterpretation of the GSX-R-derived inline-4 into a tall, aggressive crossover tourer. Rather than playing it safe, Suzuki leans heavily into performance DNA. The engine is the star of the show, delivering explosive acceleration and a top-end rush that few competitors can match. This makes the S1000GX the most overtly sporty motorcycle in the lineup. Suspension tuning strikes a surprising balance between firmness and comfort, though the bike clearly prefers fast riding over relaxed cruising. On rough roads, the setup can feel less forgiving than more touring-focused rivals. Electronics are modern and well executed, including adaptive suspension and a comprehensive rider aid package, though the user interface lacks the polish of premium European systems. The Suzuki S1000GX feels like a superbike wearing touring clothes, which will thrill aggressive riders but may fatigue those seeking serenity. It earns a performance-driven score of 8.3 out of 10. Kawasaki's Versys 1100 continues the brand's tradition of offering understated competence rather than emotional fireworks. It is arguably the most conservative machine in this comparison, but also one of the most comfortable. The engine delivers ample torque and relaxed cruising ability, prioritizing smoothness over excitement. It may not dominate performance charts, but it excels at covering vast distances effortlessly. Chassis stability is exemplary, with suspension tuned for comfort and predictability. The Versys feels unflappable on poor road surfaces, making it a strong choice for long, varied journeys. Electronics are functional and comprehensive, though not class-leading. Kawasaki focuses on reliability and ease of use rather than cutting-edge features. As a long-distance companion, the Versys 1100 is deeply impressive, but its lack of emotional engagement limits its appeal. It receives a respectable score of 7.9 out of 10. BMW's S1000XR remains one of the benchmarks in the performance-oriented Grand Tourer category. For 2026, it continues to blur the line between superbike and touring machine. The inline-4 engine delivers blistering acceleration and a ferocious top end, paired with razor-sharp throttle response. This makes the S1000XR one of the fastest bikes in the segment. Chassis dynamics are outstanding, with sport bike-level precision that defies the bike's tall stance. Even when pushed hard, the S1000XR remains composed and confidence-inspiring. BMW's electronic suite is among the most sophisticated available, featuring adaptive suspension, advanced rider aids, and a highly polished TFT interface. The downside lies in price and long-term running costs, which are significantly higher than Japanese rivals. Nevertheless, its performance pedigree earns the BMW S1000XR a strong score of 8.7 out of 10. Ducati's Multistrada V4 stands as the most complete and ambitious motorcycle in this lineup. Built around a powerful and characterful V4 engine, it defines Ducati's vision of the modern Grand Tourer. The V4 engine delivers effortless torque across the rev range, combining thrilling acceleration with surprising smoothness. It is equally comfortable cruising or attacking mountain roads. Chassis balance is exceptional, supported by class-leading semi-active suspension that adapts seamlessly to riding conditions and load. Comfort and control coexist without compromise. Ducati's electronics package sets the benchmark, with radar-assisted safety systems, multiple riding modes, and intuitive user interfaces that enhance both safety and enjoyment. Despite its premium price, the Multistrada V4 justifies its cost through sheer breadth of ability. It earns the highest score in this comparison with 9.1 out of 10. Ultimately, this ranking reflects differing philosophies rather than outright winners and losers. Each motorcycle excels in its own niche, but for riders seeking the most complete and future-ready Grand Tourer for 2026, Ducati's Multistrada V4 sets the standard others must chase.